We have breaking news this evening out of Queen of the South as the club are set to announce a new signing. Now, there's no word as of yet who the player is, but the club have confirmed it is a central defender with Premier League experience. So let's cross live to Dumfries now for the announcement. Thank you everybody, and well, we are delighted to announce that David Wheater has signed for us here at Queen of the South. Now, he's a player I've been after for a little while now, but we've managed to get him to postpone his modelling career. Thank you, David. And also lower his wage demands. So hopefully he'll be here and help us push up the table. And who knows, maybe even get us into the Premiership for next season. Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome to episode 5 here at Queen of the South on the Impossible Dream as we look to win the Champions League with our Scottish club. And today we have a very big game in the Championship versus Ayr United, then a less big game, but a big game nonetheless, against Greenock Morton, also in the Championship. But the big news since last episode is I finally got my man. We finally got another centre-back in. David Wheater has joined us, £700 a week till the end of next season. He's 34 years old. If you go down here, you can see the rest of the contract. And yeah, I mean, there's nothing particularly major there. But what I like about him is, I mean, he can't move. He's not quick and he can't pass the ball. Everything else about him, though, for a centre-back is, at our level, to be honest, exceptional. He's a leader as well. He may well find himself captaining the team next season in what will almost certainly be the final year of his career. But I'm really happy to get him. Really pleased. So let's hope that he does a good job for us. If you are not familiar with David Wheater, I remember him at Middlesbrough coming through in the Premiership as a youngster. And, well, he spent most of his career after that at Bolton in the Premier League and then sort of going on their roller coaster up and down the leagues. Oldham for a season, it looks like, and then he's come and joined us. So I'm excited to get him in. I really am. I think he'll do very well for us. Now, unfortunately, it's not all good news, because if we go and have a look at the medical centre, we have lost Ryan Cassidy for 2 to 3 weeks. We have him on loan, or a further 2 to 3 weeks. He's already been out for 2 weeks. We have him on loan, of course, from Watford. He is a very good striker for us, again, at this level. He's been scoring a lot of goals for us as well. And yeah, so we're going to be without him, which is a shame. And other news, I don't know if it's good news or bad news. I don't think it is particularly either, to be honest. But if we have a look at transfers out, Alex Cooper will be leaving us on a free transfer at the end of this coming season. He's going off to Bohemians in Ireland. The reason I've done this, he's not been playing particularly well for us. He's 30, he's not getting any better, he's not getting any younger, and his contract was up. So we've decided just to let him go. I didn't offer him another deal. He's going to be on £1,000 a week, I think, where he's going. So good luck to him, to be honest. Very good luck to him. Now, the other news is involving our youth intake, because we've had our preview. Now, it's a different looking preview to what we've usually had. But to be honest, it's not one we're going to look forward to. There might be a striker, a B-rated striker. I mean, that's not bad, to be honest. So that would be good if that comes off for us. A central midfielder that could be average, and then that is essentially it. And it says here, doesn't it, don't expect much from this youth intake. So yeah, we won't wait with bated breath on that one, unfortunately. Now that's everything to catch you up on, I believe. So let's have a look at what's been happening on the field, starting with our league game against Inverness. We had a half-time lead thanks to a little rocket. Swanson crossed for Cassidy early in the second half. And the same two combined for Cassidy to get our third at the near post. Before Little bent in a second stunner of the match. Well, this was a brilliant performance from us. Absolutely destroyed them. Little, just wow. Those 2 goals, sensational. Cassidy with a double. Swanson running the show from right back. Just really good. It's difficult to say anything else other than that. Now, next up, it was the first tie for us in the Scottish Cup. It was League One East Fife. Let's see if the cup run goes on. Swanson crossed for Patton to give us an early lead. Todd played in Ali Roy for our second. And Little sealed the tie. So this was a tight game. We kind of just wore them down and flattered ourselves a little bit later on there. But you can see our goalkeeper Eastwood played an 8.4. So it was far from 3-0. It flatters us massively, as I say. But we did get through, which is the main thing. And in the next round, we have a Premiership side, which I want to say is Livingston, but I'll have to double check that for you. Next up, it was the Caramel Wafer Cup. It was the quarterfinal against Queen's Park. So let's see if we're going to the semis. We fell behind midway through the second half. Patton crossed for Suarez Jr. in stoppage time to send the tie to penalties, where young goalkeeper Cowie was the hero, making 3 saves on debut. So we were well below our best. We changed formation. We changed a lot of the players as well. And we were lucky. We were lucky to get to penalties. And when we got there, Cowie, I believe it was his first game for the club, and he was brilliant. He really, really was. Had a good game, actually. He's wanted on, not even on loan, but he's wanted by Livingston, so as a, to transfer. And oh no, he had played one other game, so it wasn't technically a debut. So I'd messed up in the little commentary piece there. Voiceover, that's the word I'm looking for. But yeah, he did really, really well. So he looks a decent goalkeeper based off of that. Next up in the league, it was Partick Thistle. So let's see what we did to them. And the answer is not much. 0-0 this one finished, but we should have won. Todd missed 2 absolute sitters. One header, one sort of played through on goal. Should have won, yeah. But we didn't. It's a point, though. A point at home is disappointing, but we'll take it. We'll take it, won't we? Next up, it is Dunfermline. Now, of course, our first win of the season on YouTube, anyway, came against Dunfermline an episode or 2 ago. That was 5-2. Let's see what we could do this time. We went ahead in the first half when Little crossed for Patton. And DT made it 2-0 at half-time. And DeBeo crossed for Patton to get his second early in the second half. Ali Roy made it 4-0. And Nditi got his second, before Dunfermline got a late consolation. So another 5 goals past Dunfermline. We just destroyed them in the air, particularly from corners. It was almost sad to watch for them at times, to be honest. They looked pathetic in the air, didn't they? But yeah, Patton with a double, and DT with a double. His first goals for the club as well, I believe. And Roy chipping in there as well. So we go and have a look what all this means. And it is Livingston in the Scottish Cup next round. And in the semi-final of the UEFA Cup, it is Arbroath. So that's going to be a tough one away from home as well. We do have Livingston at home, so we'll be going all out for that. We want to go as deep as we... Who knows, maybe we could win the Cup and get into Europe first season. That would be something, wouldn't it? But if you have a look at what all this means for the competitions, we are currently 4 points off top, which is Ayr United, which is why we've come back a little bit earlier than what I was anticipating, because forget relegation, we're not going down this season. We might be winning this league yet. So if we were to beat Ayr United, it would be 1 point off top. Beat Greenock Morton in the next game, we could finish this episode top of the league, which would be something, wouldn't it? You can see all the other cup competitions there. But let's go and have a look and see what we're doing here against Ayr. So we are expecting a 4-4-1-1 formation from them. The team we're sending out, this is it. Now with the Wheater coming in, it's allowed us to move some players around, and I think this is going to be good for us going forward. So Eastwood continues in goal. DeBeo and DT. Wheater will make his debut with Swanson. McKay moves forward from centre-back into half-back, where I think that's better for him anyway. It means Little will push forward. He is a better attacking player than playing a half-back. So he's going to push forward and partner Cochrane. We're going to keep going with Fitzpatrick as the number 10. He's not done badly. He's not done that well. But it gets him playing, and that's what he wants. And then Roy and Patton will be the duo with no custody, of course. Patton has scored goals for us, so no real qualms about him playing there. And Ali Roy, his contract is up. He's on £700 a week. I'm not going to renew him just yet. The reason being, I just wonder if we could do better for £700 a week. You know, maybe over the summer, there's a player coming off of contract that is an upgrade on Ali Roy. And you may notice as well, Stephen Lawless is on his way back from injury, so he's on the bench for this one as well. We might see him. We'll see how the game's going. That he does give us the option to play with wingers, though, again, now that he's back. Do we recognise any names? There's a couple of names I recognise. Jonathan Alaphobie, he absolutely destroyed us when we played him the first time. And we were thoroughly outplayed in that one. What do we want to say to this? I think a good run going impressed me. We have been playing quite well, so let's go with that. Let's pump our fists and see what we can do here. And hopefully it's going to be better, as I say, than it was away from home, where they did thoroughly outplay us. But we're doing okay. Wheater had a gain for the... there's a ball in. Can we get Wheater in? Oh, it's off the post. Ellie Roy. He did play a friendly, I think it was for the under-18s, after he signed, just to try and get some fitness. Obviously, he hasn't played in a long, long time. So that is the reason that he's not 100% match, or 100% fit, I should say, as opposed to match sharp. He's not going to be match sharp just yet. But let me know what you think of the David Wheater signing. I hope anyway, he will offer a lot. Another thing we've done is Nditi. We've offered him a new deal. He knows he's on £400 a week now. The reason we've done that, it is a bit of a pay raise for him. But he had a release fee of 220 grand, I think. And there are a couple of, I think Sheffield Wednesday it was, that was just starting to sniff around him. So we've offered him more money, but it's taken the release fee away. So we don't have that hanging over him now, which is good, I think, because he's arguably been our best player this year, I think. There's obviously a lot of candidates for that. I'm interested to see, it's a bit early in the season yet, but when we get to Viewers Player of the Year, it's going to be interesting to see who you guys nominate, because I think we've had quite a few very, very good players this year. A little bit of interplay there, which is good to see. De Bayo with the cross. There's just quite no one there on the end of it. Here we go. Wheater passes the ball successfully to Swanson. Can he get a cross in? Roy is lurking. Fitzpatrick's there. Patton is on the last man. It's towards Patton. And Rory Patton with the opening goal. It is 1-0 in the 38th minute to the Queens of the South. And this is us looking as though we could go 1 point off the top of the table. And I think I was genuinely concerned that we might go down this year. We got a couple of good loanees in, didn't we, at the end of the transfer window in September, or it'd be late August, I suppose. And we've just gelled. We've just gelled, and we're starting to look a real decent side. And we're missing some key players as well. Let's not think. I might move Wheater from a corner. I think I've got him attacking the ball from deep, but we might just stand him in at the near post, I think. Anyway, we've got some big players out injured. You think Cassidy Fitzpatrick at the back post, and he makes it 2-0 before half-time. It's 2 goals in as many minutes, I think, isn't it? And De Bayo with another wicked cross in. And, well, this is looking suddenly very, very good for us. Yeah, I mean, we've got Cassidy out. Don't forget Connolly, who was coming into the season the team's star player, according to the game anyway, before we started. Yeah, so we're looking good. We're looking good. Ball forward, and DT will pick that up. Little, of course, more advanced role than we've been used to seeing him in. Back for McKay. Again, he's moving forward in the lineup as well. That was the one thing I wanted a centre-back. I'm absolutely stoked it's Wheater. Ball in there. It was Roy, and it's off the crossbar in the end. Because McKay just wasn't a centre-back. His tackling's not good enough. He's a defensive midfielder that was sort of doing a job for us. So the fact we've got a central defender in means that we can move him forward as well. It just strengthens the whole team, I think. We've got a demotivated De Bayo, which isn't ideal. But anyway, he's now looking very unmotivated. Let's give them some praise. And we still obviously have Cooper to the end of the year. I don't know if I kind of made that clear or not, but we do have him to the end of our season, even though the Irish League obviously runs calendar year. Now, Wheater is looking tired. We might... 70 minutes is fairly decent, isn't it? What we don't want to do, of course, is run him into the ground and get him injured. So let's bring McGrory on for Wheater. We can move everybody forward one, and that should be fine. Joseph has played a lot of games recently, so I might give him this one off. Another corner. A third goal would surely wrap it up for us. It's headed away. Fitzpatrick should retrieve it. We've seen before we've not been against throwing away a 2-goal lead, so we don't want to get too celebratory just yet, but a third goal would surely be pop the champagne. De Bayo, can he have another wicked cross? There it is, Patton! And he's onside. Thought he was going to be offside for a second then, but he's tapped it in, and it is 3-0. And we have destroyed the league leaders, and... well, let me know what you think in the comments. We're surely going to win the league at this rate, aren't we? we flicked the switch. We were just making it competitive for the rest of the league. We flicked the switch and suddenly we look unbeatable. Certainly in the league. There will, I'm sure, be slip-ups between now and the end of the season, and how we respond to those slip-ups might be a big part of how this season ends for us. But we just look as though we're a good team playing well right now. And that's a good place to be, isn't it? I won't bring Lawless off the bench because he wasn't particularly fit. I could probably run around for 5 minutes, can't he? Let's get him on. Patton's on a booking. He's on a hat-trick too, isn't he? So we'll leave him on. We'll get Lawless on. Let him have a little bit of match sharpness in the legs. But this has been absolutely brilliant. If we go beat Greenock Morton now, and any further points are dropped by Ayr, we will find ourselves top of the league at Christmas. And that would be a wonderful, wonderful thing. What a performance that was. Well done, lads. That is a brilliant win for us. So we can see the league table. We are 1 point off top. Arbroath and Partick Thistle, no, we're not. We're 2 points off top, are still ahead of us, as are Ayr United. So we maybe it's out of our hands whether we are top at Christmas, but we're certainly going to be close. And we've run down quite the gap as well, haven't we? We're on a very, very nice run indeed. So Wheater makes his Queen of the South debut. Guys, wait right there. We'll be back to take on Greenock Morton and see if we can go 2 for 2. And who knows, as I say, maybe be top of the league. Okay, welcome back. We're getting ready to face Greenock Morton, but what I'm going to do is just quickly show you the club dynamics. I meant to do this at the top of the episode, but I kind of forgot with everything else that was going on there. You can see team cohesion. It's not there yet, but it is almost up into the green, so we're making progress there. The club atmosphere, as you would expect, is quite good. And managerial support, again, we're slowly but surely getting there. Now, the hierarchy, we are beginning to move up a little bit. We don't have anybody that actively opposes us now, so that's good. And yeah, the team leaders are on their way up. And well, Gibson, if he's not retiring at the end of the year, he won't be getting a playing contract. So we'll need a new team leader. And I think there's going to be Wheater, to be honest. I think he's going to be our captain next season. He's got all the attributes for it. And if we look at the social groups, again, we're more or less one core group, which is absolutely brilliant. So off the field and the dynamics side of things, it's really looking good, which is great. Now, what are we going to do against Greenock Morton, I hear you ask? Well, we're expecting a 4-2-3-1 from them, and this is a team we're sending out. Now, we do have, in quick succession over the festive fixtures, because this is Boxing Day, we have them, we have Wraith, and we have Hamilton. Now, they are the bottom 3 teams in the league, so we've got a little bit of luck in that sense. Of course, the other side of it means we are going to need to rotate, I think. So with rotation in mind, this is the team that we're sending out. Eastwood in goal. It's going to be DeBeo and DT, Wheater and Swanson as the back 4. Little will come back in to play the halfback role. McKay is likely going to have to play at least one game for Wheater. So we'll keep him on the bench for this one. It'll be McGrory and Cochrane, therefore, in midfield. It'll be Fitzpatrick in behind, Rory and Patton up top. And yeah, well, let's see if we can get another win here. Okay, so we can see the team sheets here. Do we recognise any names there? Robbie Muirhead sounds familiar for some reason, but maybe it's because we've played Greenock Morton, I think, twice already this season. We're in a good run. Keep it going. I mean, that kind of seems like, let's put on a show. Seems like we're taking it a little bit too easy almost if we're trying to put on a show, doesn't it? Just keep it going, boys. Just keep it going for me. And let's see if we can go top today. Oh, and all we can do is win our games. There's long enough to go in the year. We're only halfway through. That if we're top today, it doesn't matter. We've just got to make sure we're top at the end of the season. And like I say, recent form would suggest that we're every chance. Cochrane with a corner, ball in. It is Wheater, and there it is. His first goal for the club. David Wheater in at the back post. I said I was going to change where he was. We did, and well, instant reward for that. 7-8 minutes into the game, and well, that's what he can do, isn't it? He could do it at Premier League level. He can sure as hell do it at Scottish Championship level. Cochrane over a free kick. A chance to shoot, and that is not a long way away. But, I mean, Greenock Morton are a struggling side this season, so it's a game that you'd like to think that we can win. My kind of plan in terms of the squad rotation is to play our more or less the strongest team this one. And, oh, what a strike from Josh DeBeo, the left back. Have some of that. It's 2-0 after 14 or so minutes. It's a first goal for the club, it looks like, for DeBeo. And his contract's up at the end of this year. I'm very, very tempted to renew it. The issue that we have as well, and this sort of comes back, that's a stunning strike, to the Ali Roy issue in terms of offering him a contract. I think we need to start looking as if we're a Scottish Premiership team next season, because we're playing well enough right now to think that we can go and win this league. And what I don't want to do is go and blow a bunch of our wage budget, which, even if we're in the Scottish Premiership, I'm assuming is not going to be huge. I don't want to end up with a squad full of players that aren't good enough because we've re-signed them in the Championship. So it is a risk. Absolutely, it is a risk that we don't go up and we lose some players to free transfers. They could get picked off in January onwards. We lose some of those players. Actually, in Scotland, it might already be able to happen. I think it's December onwards because the contracts run out a little bit earlier. But yeah, let's try and motivate Swanson individually here. There we go. Yeah, so it looks like, as I say, we might go up, and I've just got to bear that in mind when it comes to renewing contracts. So everybody is more or less doing a decent job. Fitzpatrick, out of position, maybe not so much. You know what we might do? He's got his start. We might take him off. I'm toying with the idea, actually, of the next game playing with wingers so that when we can rest one of the strikers, we're a little short up front without Cassidy. So I'm wondering if I rest one of the strikers and play the other one in that game, which is Wraith, I believe, and then play with wingers so Lawless and Fitzpatrick could play, and then we can go with Suarez Jr. and Patton in the Hamilton game. Yeah, it's just balancing the squad a little bit of squad juggling in this time in between. It was just this festive easy for you to say, festive period where the games are a little bit more regular than we've been used to for the rest of the year. Can Swanson whip a cross in? No. Cochrane, though, he can. Roy brings it down. Oh, he's unlucky. He's hit the post, I think. Cochrane with another chance. Back to Swanson. Swanson to Cochrane. Ball in for Todd. Oh, it's blocked. Patton has a turn. Shoot. It's there. Roy. I was going to say he can't miss, but he can because it's been blocked. And it is still 2-0. Now, can Cochrane find Wheater again at the back post? He's looking for him. It's headed away on this occasion, though. And that will end the highlight. McGrory looking complacent. Mate, you're not good enough to be complacent. He is developing quite well, actually, McGrory. He is one of the guys that is a little bit higher potential than others. So he's starting to show some signs. But he might be one of these guys that, and we've got, a couple of minutes to go here. If we do hold on here, he's one of the guys that might actually kind of slip through because he's not going to be good enough for the Premiership. So he might just kind of be one of the guys that kind of disappear out of the club because we've gone a little bit too quick for him. But, Gus wants to leave. But you can leave soon, mate, because we have won the game. It's 2-0. It is back-to-back wins in the league. And we'll say very nice again. And, well, how long can this go on for? All right, so Gus has left the building and we are not top of the league, but we're only 2 points off Partick Thistle. We are joint on points with Arbroath. And, yeah, like I say, any thought of relegation, gone. We are not going down. So Greenock Morton fall into the drop zone. De Bayo, a stunning strike, 100% tackle rate. I mean, he's looking very, very good, isn't he? And again, like I say, his contract is up. Is he good enough for the Premiership? And that's going to be the question, isn't it? No is the answer. He's not. But he's definitely one of these guys that fits into the way we're playing very well and outperforms those attributes. So we'll have to have a think about that. But guys, that will do it for today. If you have enjoyed that, make sure you hit thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. We've got the January window oncoming. It looks as though, I mean, if we look at the finances, we're over our wage budget. Wheater kind of tipped us over that. So we don't really have any wiggle room. We've also had the percentage of transfer money we get brought into the club reduced down to 10%. We're headed the wrong way financially, but we are kind of going all out to get into the Premiership this season. And if we do that, then obviously things will turn around for us relatively quickly. So if we can get some loanees in where we don't have to pay wages, I think that's what we'll look to do. Yeah, our hands are tied, aren't they, essentially. But what I think we'll do is we'll come back at the end of the January window for Livingston in the Scottish Cup, and then Dunfermline, who we smashed twice. We'll see if we can double their dose, and that'll sort of coincide then with the end of the transfer window, and we can kind of go from there and see where the season takes us. So if you've enjoyed it, thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you next time at the end of the January window. Take care.